Now, as you saw in the previous lecture, GitHub Copilot often is capable of making good suggestions simply based on the surrounding code whenever you tap into a new line. But that's not always the case. And for that, I'll switch here to the header component. Here in this component, I in the end want to output an extra word in front of React down here in line 12. And that should be a word that's taken from this React descriptions array. So from that list of words here. And soon I want to draw that word randomly, but for a start, I just want to take the first word here. Now, if I just place my cursor here in line 12, nothing happens. If I go to the line before that and I create a new line, I do get a suggestion. And I do get a suggestion that also might make sense, because here it's suggesting that I might want to loop through all the words in that React descriptions array, but it's not the suggestion I want here. I don't want to output all the words here, which is essentially what it would do here if I follow these suggestions. This code here would output all the words in this list. I don't want to do that. And therefore here, GitHub Copilot doesn't really know what I want. And how would it? It can't read my mind. But you can help GitHub Copilot make good suggestions by starting some lines of code and by picking variable or function names that in the end give GitHub Copilot an idea of what you're trying to achieve. So for example here, I could add a new constant or variable. And here, just after typing this word, I'm getting some suggestion here, but actually not the suggestion I want. But I'll therefore just continue typing. And I'll name my constant here first description. And now by picking that name, I am getting a suggestion that makes sense and that is the suggestion I want in the end, which I again can accept by hitting tab. And I got this suggestion because I picked this name here. By using first description as a name for this constant here, GitHub Copilot was able to guess that I probably want the first item from this React descriptions array. And it was able to make that guess even though this name, first description, does not contain the word React. Still, it was able to understand that this here is the only array I have in this code base, or in this file at least, and that it's therefore this array from which I probably want to get the first element. Especially since this array contains the word description and this constant contains the word description. And that's therefore also a pattern or an approach you also should be aware of. You don't just have to rely on suggestions you're getting when starting a new line, like here, where I am now indeed getting the suggestion I want to output this first description. But you don't have to rely on that. Instead, you can kind of write prompts or trigger the right behavior of GitHub Copilot by starting lines of code with code that allows GitHub Copilot to guess what you're trying to achieve.